Why is everything getting so expensive? The topic of today's video is going to discuss that specific question, and we're going to specifically be talking about inflation and how that impacts prices. Hi everyone, my name is Helen. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to answer the question, why is everything getting so expensive? And specifically, we're going to be going over some basics when it comes to inflation. The first point when it comes to why everything is getting expensive is, what is inflation? Now, the simplest way to describe inflation is prices are going up. That is the basic thing that you will notice when you're talking about inflation. It is simply that prices for goods and services are increasing over time, and generally speaking, it's going to be a relatively low amount, but sometimes it will be enough that you notice those increases. There are a few reasons that businesses will increase prices over time, and those reasons really depend on what is going on at that time in the economy as well as around the world. Generally speaking, businesses increase prices and cause inflation by increasing the prices on goods and services in a few different situations. So one of the basic principles when it comes to businesses is that they will increase prices when the cost of goods and materials for those products that they're building go up. So if the price of metals go up, then products that use metal will also go up to compensate for that additional price. Another factor that may cause prices to go up and businesses to increase their prices is when the supply of a product is lower than the amount of products that people want. So when people have more money and the economy is basically booming in that regard, you have people with more money in their pocket, they tend to buy more things. And as a result, businesses are struggling to keep up with the demand that they may suddenly see due to having more money in the economy. As a result, the businesses will increase their prices. It's really just a basic supply and demand situation. So when it comes to inflation and why inflation happens, it's really just comes down to human behavior, the cost of goods, and then what businesses are doing in response to those things. Now, the second point when it comes to why everything is getting so expensive is really just the official reports versus what you see in the market. Now, official reports on inflation are not always as easy to understand when it comes to the market because they don't always report things in the same way that you would anticipate based on the prices that you're seeing. So the way that the official reports estimate inflation, it's weighted very heavily in categories like housing. So the price of rent, the price of buying a house, those weigh very heavily in that calculation. Whereas what you are seeing as a consumer, it may not be as obvious when it comes to housing. So you might only see a very small increase in the price on housing, but maybe you're looking at your groceries and you're being like, what's going on here? My groceries are now 20 or 30%. Those are higher than last year by such a significant margin that you notice it and you see that every day. Now, when it comes to the way that the inflation is calculated officially, they don't calculate very much in the way of groceries, gas, energy, and related costs. Those are the areas that you as a consumer are likely to see going up more significantly, especially when you're looking at your day-to-day bills. So you may notice that the gas prices have increased. You may notice that the cost of food when you're going to the grocery store has increased, but it may not reflect the same way in official reports because it's only part of the picture and they're calculating based on multiple different factors. So if the cost of housing has only gone up maybe 3% that year, but the cost of groceries has gone up by 20% that year, you'll notice the cost of groceries going up, but you may not notice much in the way of your housing costs going up. But the inflation calculation, roughly 1/3 of that calculation is specifically housing. So you may not notice that particular aspect, but you will notice some of the smaller things that in the official reports, those are weighted much lower. So energy costs are weighted at about 4%. When it comes to food costs, when you consider groceries and restaurants, it's maybe like 6% of the total calculation. So that is one thing that you will notice, and it may lead to some confusion in that regard. The reason that you may notice that prices are going up a lot on, let's say, diapers, on necessities like food, gas, energy costs, is that those things are differently weighted in official reports. So it may seem a little confusing when you look at the official reports and they're reporting, oh, inflation is only up by 5%, but you're looking at your costs and saying, this is way more than 5%. That's because inflation weighs certain things higher and certain things lower. So in areas where there's a higher percentage increase year over year, such as fuel and energy costs, natural gas, these type of areas, you will notice a higher percentage on your costs when compared to inflation in other areas. The third point when it comes to why is everything getting so expensive is really just a combination of factors. Now, inflation is a very complicated thing because there's so many variables in it. But when you're looking at inflation, there's ultimately a combination of factors at play. So you have the costs of materials rising. That causes businesses to increase the price of their goods. Now, that's one factor. But another factor that comes with inflation is the amount of money that is available in the economy, how much money people have, causing them to spend more money. So if you have a larger amount of money in the economy where people have more to spend, now the price of things goes up because the number of that product, let's say a bike that you wanted to buy, well, that bike may have a limited quantity available, so the prices go up for that reason as well. There's also factors involved when it comes to outside other areas. So perhaps there's problems with supply chains that are affecting prices, and these are all factors that contribute to why the cost of everything is going up. Inflation is a really complicated aspect of why your expenses go up, but it's very important to make note that when you're looking at inflation, you may see something that differs from the official reports, and that's okay. It's really just a matter of recognizing where that price increase is coming from. And generally speaking, those price increases come from a few different factors, including human behavior, including a lot more money being available in the economy, as well as there being price increases on basic necessities to build the products that you need. So if a company needs metal to build a product and metal has gone up in price, then that will reflect in the price that they give you as the consumer. It also reflects in the price when it comes to wage increases for the employees or any other factors that may cause the company to take more money to build the product that you want to buy. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.